Hi, it's Christina with the Sisyphean Journal. I am reacting to a podcast of the Lotus Eaters. I only got like a minute into this video and found out Jane's Revenge is not named after Jane Roe for Roe versus Wade. It's named after the Jane underground abortion group in Chicago in the late 60s and early 70s. Now, remember I said that these people obviously don't care about women's safety because if they did, they'd have been going after Kermit Gosnell. This Jane underground abortion thing brought women to Kermit Gosnell in 1972 on Mother's Day for him and Harvey Karman to do what got dubbed the Mother's Day Massacre, where they used super coils to do experimental abortions on a busload of women from Chicago. The Jane abortion ring had been raided, and instead of just helping this, I think it was 18 young black women find actual help, they took them to Philadelphia, and I don't know if they told them that they were going to be part of a quasi-medical experiment. And to kind of explain what these super coils are, there was a method of hunting polar bears used by Native Alaskans, where, you know, if a human goes head to head with a polar bear, the human's going to lose, right? So what they would do is they would take a piece of very flexible bone, like rib, and they'd get a piece of blubber in their mouth to get it warm, and they'd roll up that piece of bone and then real quick cram it into the blubber, and the blubber would freeze solid with that piece of bone in it. And then they would leave that piece of blubber. The bear would smell the blubber, the bear would eat it, the blubber would soften and melt into bear's stomach, and spring, that piece of bone would come out and shred the bear's insides, and you just track the bear until it dies. That was the principle of super coils. It was plastic springs inside a gel that would melt in the mother's uterus and go spring and, you know, cut the baby to ribbons. It had very predictable results on the women. Pretty much all of them had complications. One had to be hospitalized in Philadelphia. Several were lost to follow-up, so we don't even know if they died or not. So I find it no surprising that these people who brought women to Kermit Gosnell are the same people who still seem to think that Kermit Gosnell is good enough as long as it's legal. Now, it's funny because they were criminal abortionists to begin with, the Jane Syndicate. They were criminal abortionists. When they brought these women to Philadelphia, they brought them for illegal abortions. And what's more, a local feminist group knew this was dangerous. They were outside protesting and letting the air out of the bus tires. People who actually cared about women were, what the hell are you doing? But Jane didn't. Jane wants to get their revenge on any woman who wants her fetus to come out alive, evidently. They just can't stand the idea.